everyone. I want to spend some time today talking to you a little bit about domestic violence, which has been renamed to intimate partner violence. But I want to talk a little bit about the cycle of abuse before we just get into just some more dialogue about how we believe or how we see healthy relationships. But what the cycle of abuse looks like is that there's some type of tension that's going on between you and your significant other. There's an incident, something happens. Then, during that time, whatever that incident is, it may be physical, it may be verbal. Then there's some reconciliation, and then there's some calm. Everybody gets along again, you kiss, you make up. And then the cycle starts again. There's some tension. So, just some facts that are out here. 1 in 4 women experience domestic violence. For men, 1 out of 7 men have reported experiencing domestic violence. What we know is that it's not cool for a man to report domestic violence, right? Because your ego or man's ego isn't going to say that they let a woman beat them up. But we know those that report it can get help. Those that don't report it usually stay in that cycle. So you have to ask yourself the question, are you with someone who is physically abusive to you, who talks nasty to you, who lays hands on you? I don't care if it's a push, a tap, or a shove. That can escalate into something bigger. Resources are available for you in this city, Baltimore. I'm sure you all have heard of the House of Ruth. They have a facility that is open to both men and women right on Charles Street, right above 25th Street. They have a program called the Gateway Project where they've been funded to assist abusers. Specifically, male abusers can be court ordered to attend this Gateway program where they get help in dealing with their emotions and relationship skills and how to be able to be in relationship with someone and not want to put hands on, not want to yell, not want to be physically abusive. A lot of times we know, or what I have learned is that abusers are oftentimes have been abused, right? And so for some people, it's more difficult for them to admit the fact that they grew up in a household where they got beat unmercifully, or they saw their parents fight all of the time. And so that they think that this is the way in which you're supposed to have a healthy relationship. So what we want to teach, we want to make sure that you know is that isn't a healthy relationship. I don't care what you see on social media. I don't care what you're seeing on Love and Hip Hop and the reality shows. Those people on television, they're getting paid to act and behave that way. A lot of that stuff is just a script. They're acting. But out here in the world that we're living in right now, COVID-19 is going on. Statistics are showing that domestic violence is increasing because people are in the house together. They're in close quarters together, right? We want you all to make sure that you're taking some time out to think about what's important to you. What do you value, right? When you're upset, what are you doing? Are you engaging with somebody who is being disrespectful to you or talking negative to you or talking down to you? Or are you removing yourself? Are you leaving out the house versus being in a combative situation? So you should never be ashamed or embarrassed to want to be healthy. To want to be healthy and to want to be, in a place or with somebody that is in a loving relationship, that's real. And any of us can have that and deserve to have that. But what we don't deserve is to stay in this cycle of abuse because it's toxic, it's not healthy, and it's not productive for you. You can't be on a job and every 5 minutes your girl is calling you. What you doing? What's going on? And vice versa. You shouldn't be calling her every 5 minutes on her job. Trust is an integral part of a relationship. Communication, good communication, open communication, that is also very important in a relationship. When you are talking with somebody, you need to be seeking to understand what they're saying to you as well as you wanting to be understood. So take some time while you're in the house, while you're by yourself, and reflect on what is most important to you. What do you value in a relationship? Even if you don't have the time to write it down, Just think about it and come up with 1 or 2 things that you value about a healthy relationship. And remember what this cycle is. And if you find yourself in this cycle, don't be too embarrassed, don't be too ashamed to ask for help. You come to me, you come to your youth worker, and we will sit down and talk to you about some resources. Counseling is available for you and your significant other. We have mental health therapists on site, and again, our resource with the House of Ruth. So take some time, make sure you're reflecting on what are your values when it comes to a relationship, and stay safe out there, y'all. Thanks for listening.